Hey, stop for a second. I want to ask you something, and I want you to actually think about it. Not the highlight reel version, not the social media version, but in reality. When you picture your life in 5 years, if you're on the same path that you're on right now, with the same habits, same income, what do you see? Are you in the same apartment, stuck in the same job, maybe with a small raise? We've got a little bit more money coming in, a little bit more money going out. If that picture doesn't sit right with you, but if that's what you see, then good. Hold on to that uncomfortable feeling, because that feeling is about to become very, very useful. See, a few years ago, I was in a spot like that. I was in college, I was working a part-time job, I was showing up, I was putting in the hours, and I was doing the things that you're told to do that'll, eventually get you where you want to be. The thing is, though, I felt totally, completely stuck. I wasn't lazy, I wasn't uncaring, I was just stuck. I felt like I was running hard, walking on a treadmill, going nowhere, but the treadmill just kept moving. The idea is basically like, you work, you get paid, you cover your bills, and then you do it again. And somewhere in the back of my mind, a voice started asking, is this really it? Is this really the plan? Is this the path that your life is gonna go down? The thing is, I wasn't sitting around doing nothing. I was reading, I was listening to audiobooks when I was driving to college, I was learning about the stock market, about money, about what it actually takes to build a life that doesn't depend on a paycheck to survive. I had knowledge, I had information, and I had desire. But I hadn't done the one thing that actually changes everything. I hadn't started investing. Think about this. You go to school for 13 years, and in all of that time in college, unless you're specifically going to learn about investments, you never get one class on how to own an asset that makes you money while you sleep so you don't have to work for every dollar you earn. They teach you how to write a resume, how to show up on time, how to be useful to someone else's vision. They never teach you how to make your money work for you. The thing is, that system that you grew up in, that I grew up in, it wasn't broken. It was actually working exactly the way that it's designed to work. Just it was designed to produce employees, not owners. And the moment that you first see that and you first understand this, you can't unsee it. And here's the trap that I almost got stuck in. I thought that if I learned enough, read enough books, listened to enough podcasts, and understood enough of the theory and the ideas, that the action would just take care of itself. The truth is, it doesn't. It never does. See, there's a gap between what you know and what you actually do. And that gap is where most people spend their entire lives. Now, that's not just lazy people, that's smart people, educated people, people who know that they should be investing, right? The thing is, the only way to cross that gap and to change your life is to actually start. Not when you know more, not when you've read the next book, not when you feel ready, not when the timing is perfect, or when everything lines up exactly to make it so easy, right? The only way across is to start. Even when it's small, even when you're scared, even if, like I did, you only have $50 to start with. Because every single day that you stay on this side of that gap, right, the side where you know you should be doing it but you're not, that gap gets wider. And look, the thing is, it's not your fault. The system you grew up is built to do this. Schools are built to do this, and nobody taught you this stuff. So even though it's not your fault though, it is your problem. Because every single day that passes without your money working for you is a day that you can never get back. It's not something that you want to wait for next year. Not something for when you figure it out or when you get the next raise, because a dollar invested 10 years ago is worth far more than a dollar that you invest today. But a dollar that you invest today is worth way more than a dollar that you invest 5 years from now or 10 years from now when you finally feel ready, which, by the way, probably never actually comes anyway. The cost of waiting isn't just money. It's literally years of your life and years of becoming the person that you need to be to have the result that you want. The thing is, you don't have forever to figure this out. The clock is already running out, and every day that you wait is a day that you can't get back. I remember when this all changed for me, it was one evening I was working, it was almost dark outside, and I was driving a forklift in a part-time job at Tractor Supply with one AirPod in my ear. And that was the moment that everything changed. I figured out what I was actually supposed to do. It wasn't more reading, it wasn't another book, it wasn't more theory. It was a thing that nobody was really telling me to do. And it was the one move that actually puts the financial foundation under your feet. So, I want to tell you exactly what happened in the next video, and it's the reason that I built the entire system for investing that I use today. This video that you're watching right now is one of a 7-part series that I'm going to be putting out every Tuesday and Thursday. So, if you want to see the rest, you want to find out what happened at Tractor Supply, hit subscribe, click the playlist, and meet me in part 2. The forklift story and my epiphany at Tractor Supply is where this gets real. The thing is though, if you'd rather just skip the story and grab the full system right now and understand what I'm talking about, there's a link in the description that goes to my banana farm video. And the banana farm video walks you the whole thing step by step. By the way, there's a really fun reason why it's called the banana farm. It actually came from a video game that I used to play called Bloons Tower Defense 5. There's a concept in this game that completely changed the way that I think about money. I'll get to that story later in the series, but for now, the banana farm video and the story behind why I have a literal bushel of bananas in my room right now, to reference the banana farms, is coming up later in that series. So the banana farm video is the fastest way to start, but I'll talk about all that later too. Either way, I'll see you in the next video, and you guys, this is gonna be so much fun.